Good afternoon. Welcome to Midday Live on TV3. We're coming to you from our news hub at Adesawe Kanda. My name is Grace Hamwa Asarewa, also live on DSTV channel 279. Coming up, 88 physically challenged persons receive startup equipment to open businesses. Maslock recovered 16 million Ghana cedis in outstanding loan repayment. Also, exclusion of voter identity card by National Identification Authority as proof of citizenship is valid, says private legal practitioner. And on the international front, Cameroon accuses Amnesty International of disseminating lies about its human rights. Yes, Kwara, so the world is excited 2 days into the World Cup. Update us, what's happened so far?
Well, it's been an exciting tournament so far. I mean, the first game brought us a lot of goals. Yesterday, it was Cristiano Ronaldo's show. The 3-3 between Portugal and Spain got us very excited. But one thing was the African teams, they could not get the job really done. They conceded 2 late goals. Egypt and Uruguay conceded late on. And then Morocco and Iran also conceding quite late in that game. The Moroccans scoring an own goal in there from Aziz Bouadouz. So it's been a tournament of goals. There's been mistakes. There's been everything that marks a tournament. For attendance in the stadiums, it's been excellent, really. And the vuvuzelas are back in Russia.
Yes.
A lot of the Africans are in there, blowing the vuvuzelas and making so much noise in the stadiums and making sure that the buzz is still there, as it will be in any World Cup game. So it's been quite exciting, really.
So the country Ghanaians refer to as our brothers or cousins, that's Nigeria, is playing today. What's in there for them?
Well, I mean, the Nigerians going into the World Cup, a lot of people are saying that they have won the fashion World Cup. If you look at the Nigerian jersey, if you look at the tracksuits that they wear to train and all of that, very exquisite fabric, and it looks very good on them. So the Nigerians look very excited going into this tournament. I mean, with a country of close to 200 million people, they will be celebrating even before they get into the World Cup proper. Tonight, they take on Croatia. It's a very dicey test, but if there's any African team actually that produces shocks at the World Cup, it is either Ghana or Nigeria, and there's no doubt for me that Nigeria can bring out one of those shocks tonight against Croatia. A lot of people are not tipping Nigeria at all. They are saying Nigeria might not stand a chance against Croatia tonight. Nigeria, mind you, have lost all their friendly games going into the World Cup.
Yes.
So they look a bit jittery, a bit out of place. But, I mean, as I said earlier, don't forget in 1998, Nigeria went into into France 98 with so many, the lowest of expectations, and went in to beat Spain by 3-2. So if that shock can come back again, it will be Nigeria's day. It can't be their day, and hopefully they beat Croatia and get Africa start to the World Cup onto a flyer. You're
predicting any goals, the scoreline?
Well, I think that it will be a closely contested game, probably a 2-1 for Nigeria. I don't see them scoring too many goals, and so it will just end a 2-1 for Nigeria.
All the best to our Nigerian brothers or our cousins, as we call them. So stay with TV3 because we're bringing you all the updates that you need when it comes to the World Cup. But let's move away from World Cup, and the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Maslock, says it has recovered 16 million cedis of loans from defaulting customers across the country. Officials explained the significant progress was a result of threats by Maslock to publish the names of all defaulters. Let's now go on the phone lines and speak with Chief Executive Officer of Maslock, Stephen Amwa. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, 60 million of 100 million debts, one will say it's very abysmal because on an average, you have been able to retrieve only 12% of what is owed the institution. You don't think so?
Thank you very much. My regards to your listeners. If you look at the face value, or if you look at the issue at the periphery, one will actually draw the inferences that you are drawing. So I wouldn't say, sorry, what you are saying is wrong. But then, because you probably don't really have the basic data that we have in terms of the salient parameters that are confronting us as the institution. This figure you are talking about was 2017. That is in terms of value, assets and cash that we're able to retrieve. And 2016, they were able to retrieve about 6 million. So if you look at the jump from 6 million to about 16 million the following year, using the trend analysis, it means we had done what probably Napoleon couldn't have. So the performance of Maslock in terms of its recovery, then it means we've done so much. But I understand what you are saying. When you are talking about the quantum of money, our debtors portfolio, then of course one would say that they still owe a lot, and that is true. Some of the monies probably will go into bad debt because of the way they were disbursed, and because of the fact that we're supposed to have district offices and we're not having it. So somebody will move from Sege to Accra, some place to Kumasi or Koforidua, move from Hohoi to Ho to collect facilities from Matlock, and the person will just go back into the city or district and you can't find it. So there were a lot of challenges we're not having, and still not even having integrated ICT system, which is an inevitable requirement for more KMFI. So all these challenges are there. So if you look at the challenges confronting us, and if you look at our performance, then it means we've done so much work. But if you don't have these data and you are talking, just as you are talking, and I agree with you, definitely you say that, oh, even 16 million out of 100 million is not enough. But it was prevailed under first MPP and under NDC that also took over for 8 years. And what is happening under Nana Adedankwa within 1 year, about 6 months, then means we are doing extremely well. So
how long did it take Maslock to retrieve these monies?
The amount will be roughly 1 year. You know, I was given my appointment somewhere February, March 2017. And by the end of the year, when we had done our work, we realized that in terms of asset value, including cash and machinery, maybe tricycles and the cars, realized that that is how much we have retrieved. And it's ongoing. We are doing a lot to make sure that we retrieve. But some of them will be difficult because of the address system and because of how they were disbursed. It's very difficult finding them. And aside that, we have about 800,000 checks that have bounced. And we are in the process of taking them to court, those who are not actually coming to perform their obligation. But they give us checks, and these include a lot of big people. You'll be surprised that they give us checks, and the checks are not good checks. They are bound, and they are with us. So, I mean, a lot is being done now. A lot is being done now.
And apart from threats to publish names of defaulters, what other plans are there to ensure that we get a lot more than what you have been able to
as
achieve?
you said, as I'm talking to you now, we have been able to actually furnish 216 district offices. We came to meet on paper 25. Only 7 of them were functioning. And as I'm talking to you now, we are using the NAPCO model. By August, almost all the districts in Ghana will have Maslock officers operating, so that we are getting closer to the people. That will enable us to identify them in the rural areas and collect our money. 2, by the end of next month or next 2 months, if all the other bureaucratic procurement staff and other things, which we are almost through, goes on, or we are going to have automated system down to the district that our beneficiaries are going to have cards, put their portfolios onto the platform. It will enable us locate where they are, get the relevant information to collect our money. And we have also set a task force at the regional levels and the national levels that are also helping us. We are going to issue letters to all our debtors, legally, to make sure that if they don't come now, we are going to take them to court and then proceed from there. We've been able to retrieve some assets, the document covering some assets of our debtors, and we are going on. So we are using all the tools available and trying to make sure that we retrieve our money. And mind you, Masterlock is one of the most important tools that any government, whether NDC and DPP, should have taken it here, because it handles the SME. And the SMEs forms about 80% of our market. Our economy is the defensive type. So any government policy framework that handles these SMEs, it is well taken care of. The problem with our economy that we are having, this unstable performance of our economy, will be a thing of the past.
Exactly,
so
Mr. Moa.
We have to establish it well and make sure that it comes professionally run financial institution, and that is our focus.
Thank you very much. You heard the Chief Executive Officer of Masterlock, Stephen Amoah. Let's do some other stories, because the Techiman North District Assembly has provided 88 physically challenged persons with equipment to begin their own trade. The items being provided were based on the interests of the beneficiaries. A report by Johnson Kofitechi. The physically challenged persons received items valued 2,000 to 3,000 Ghana cedis respectively as a startup business capital. The ultimate aim of the Techiman North District Assembly is to eliminate street begging. The items given out as their startup items include refrigerators, provision items for table stores, shoemaking equipment, sheep for rearing, and sewing machines, while others requested for 50 bags of charcoal as their startup businesses, among others. Some of the physically challenged persons requested cash for their health reasons. The district chief executive of the Techiman North District Assembly, Peter Mensah, says they strictly obeyed the new law of disbursing physically challenged persons money, which now in the form of providing them job opportunities to stop them from street begging.
This, I strongly believe, will leave a major legacy as promised by His Excellency the President Akufo-Addo, to ensuring that every Ghanaian has at least some kind of job to live on.
The district coordinator of the Techiman North Assembly, Joseph Tang, pleaded with the beneficiaries to make their startup items more attractive to benefit their next batch. Now, private legal practitioner Martin Peru says the decision of the NIA to exclude the voter ID card as proof of citizenship to register for the Ghana card is justified. He argues this is a way to ensure that the problems encountered by the Electoral Commission into their database system is not transferred onto the NIA's data. He spoke on New Day.
We all know that we had always had issues with the voters register. You know, even prior to 2016, it's been an age-long problem that we have people holding voter ID cards who are not Ghanaians. It's common, it's public knowledge. We cannot run away from it. So when I saw this new law saying that, no, don't use the voter ID, but get citizens to vouch and then also use the passport, my mind was that, oh, perhaps that's to make sure that people who illegally own voters' ID would not then automatically get a chance to come onto the national ID card. You see, it makes sense because there are people who own voter ID cards who are not citizens. And as I said, we've dealt with it in the past. We couldn't totally solve it. The Abu Ramadan case, I'm not sure those that were found totally eradicated the problem. No. In the Ramadan case, they sought to delete those that were using the NHIS card, right? Yes, so that is it. But I don't think it still solves the fundamental issue that there are people who have voters' ID cards who are not citizens, the old problem.
Let's stay a while longer on this issue because the national organizer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Kofi Adams, is accusing the NIA of deliberately trying to exclude some Ghanaians from the Ghana card registration exercise. Mr. Adams insists the NIA's approach is flawed, arguing voters' ID card is more credible than the passport. But Member of Parliament of Mpraeso South, Seth Echampong, believes the NIA is using the right approach.
You cannot vouch for me when you have not. You cannot just go there and call yourself that, oh, I am a Ghanaian, so I'm coming to vouch for Kofi Adams when you yourself, you are yet to be captured. It means you must first own the Ghana card before you can vouch for somebody. So if you enter every community to register, it means there should be at least 2 persons who have passports or birth certificate who will first qualify to register. Then they now become professional vouchers. No. There are communities that I can mention a lot that you will not find a single person with a birth cert. And as for passport, forget it. If you are lucky, then maybe if there's one of these Orthodox churches there, you have baptismal card, which is not admitted. The processes, for me, makes the voter ID much more open, much more transparent, much more inclusive, much more credible than our passports that can easily be issued to a kidnapper, a Nigerian kidnapper, who is holding our passport.
So nobody can tell me that there is no village in this country or there's no community in this country that a citizen or a native of that community do not have a passport or a birth certificate.
I can give you plenty.
Kofi, thank you very much. Certainly you will be able to produce plenty from Kofi's diary. But let me make my point here.
I can give you
Going forward, I made a critical statement in my earlier submission that this business of NPP, NDC must stop for Ghanaians to look good and feel good. Why am I saying this? Kofi talked about a CI which introduced the voters register. This Ghana register is equally a creation of Parliament. The CI is equally a creation of Parliament because it must go through Parliament for processes before it comes down. Equal processes we are going through. How did we arrive at the voters register? The same people in the same community are the people we are asking to come freely to vouch for the fellow citizens that they live with in the neighborhood, to register in the Ghana register. This is not a competition. In the voters register, I have a keen interest. I come with all arms. I come with all my strength. I come with all my energy to get people on the register. The credibility of the register.
Now, former President Rawlings has advised men to be responsible fathers in order to prevent their children from going through untold hardships in growing up. He spoke exclusively to TV3 on the occasion of Father's Day.
To be a responsible father is a must. But some of us, having children like is a secondary byproduct of our sexual urge. And we don't care for the pregnancy. We don't care for that life that's been born. So in effect, let me take this opportunity to say a big thank you to fatherhood, to responsible fathers. Let me say, all the children who've been had accidentally, persistently, all the time, could have grown up to be very irresponsible. But so many of them, you know, have to struggle through life the way they do to earn money for their fees, where they sleep, what they eat, through the struggle, through life, looking for a skill, work to do, please. And they were born through no fault of theirs, through an unplanned situation, through somebody's search for pleasure. I say congratulations to them as well.
Stay with us because we'll bring you the full interview in the subsequent bulletins. But the Napdam District Chief Executive, Agnes Anamo, has tasked residents of Napdam District to embrace peace and unity and coexist irrespective of one's religious and political affiliation for development. Agnes Anamo was speaking at the Eid al-Fitr Festival in Nangodi, the district capital. A report by Tanko Mohammed.
The Napdam district joined millions of Muslims across the country to celebrate this year's Eid al-Fitr festival after a successful fasting in the month of Ramadan. Hundreds of Muslims in the district, including the district chief executive, Agnes Anamo, and officers from other departments, observed the Eid al-Fitr at the Nangodi Primary School Park to thank Allah for His mercies and blessings. The Nabdan district chief imam thanked the district assembly for supporting the Muslim community to fast and organize the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. He prayed for the peace and stability of the district and commended the MPP government for supporting Muslim communities across the country. The district chief executive for Nabdam, Agnes Anamo, admonished residents of the district to be law-abiding and help promote peace and unity for the total development of the area. The DCE presented assorted items on behalf of the district to the Muslim community as part of the celebrations.
A retired military officer, Brigadier General W.K. Amanin, has called on Ghanaian citizens and institutions to get involved and play a greater role in issues bordering on national security. Speaking at a graduation ceremony for Junior Staff Course 69 at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College, he noted that security is no longer the preserve of the military or police, but of all persons.
The junior division of the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College was established on October 14, 1963, as part of the Military Academy and Training Schools. The college is charged with the responsibility of training selected Army officers for staff and higher command appointments. On June 14, 2018, 52 students comprising 37 from the Ghana Armed Forces, 2 from National Security, and 2 from the Bureau of National Investigations, 2 from the Ghana Revenue Authority Customs Division, while 2 were from the Botswana Defence Force and 7 from the Nigerian Armed Forces. Speaking at this ceremony, Brigadier General W.K. Amanie called on Ghanaian citizens and institutions to play a greater role in issues bordering on national security.
Security is no longer considered as the preserve of the military and the police. The successful management of the emerging security environment also requires the combined effort of traditional security and the law enforcement agencies at the regional and international levels.
Flight Lieutenant S.A. Josephson won the overall Best Student Award, while Flight Lieutenant M. Ejanim Boating won the second Best Student Award. The third Best Student Award was won by Major E.K.A. Lumo. Students from countries such as Burkina Faso, the Gambia, Ivory Coast, Namibia, Nigeria and others have since 1973 attended the junior staff course with their Ghanaian counterparts.
And now, the Water Research Institute wants government to continue enforcing laws to regulate activities of small-scale miners. The institute is of the view that the move will help track and mainstream the operations of small-scale miners to foster growth in the mining sector.
Activities of illegal and small-scale miners continue to pose problems to residents in mining communities and government at large. Over the years, the operations have contributed to massive land degradation and pollution of water bodies. Presently, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has placed a ban on small-scale and illegal mining activities. For these reasons, the Water Research Institute is collaborating with the University of Manchester to conduct research to protect existing dams in the country.
Analytical knowledge will be open access, so anybody in Ghana will be able to access the models that are used, look at the studies that have been done, and then use them to argue the particular case that they think is most appropriate.
The Water Research Institute is asking government to strengthen its laws on mining.
We think that government intervening and putting a halt to the Galamsey activity is in the right direction, but what should follow afterward is the restoration of these river systems to make them functional and useful.
The Institute intends to develop technology in the designing of infrastructure to protect dams in the country.
Let's talk about health now, because health experts say myths surrounding blood donation have discouraged a number of people from voluntarily donating blood to save lives. As the world commemorates Blood Donor Day, Ghanaians have been urged to shun such myths and voluntarily donate blood to avoid preventable deaths. A report by Beatrice Fiogabra.
June 14 is observed annually as World Blood Donor Day. Since 2004, the day has served as a platform to raise public awareness on the need for safe blood and blood products. The day is also used to acknowledge the blood donor for their voluntary life-saving gifts of blood. The Transfusion Medicine Unit at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, CATH, organized an outreach program in Kumasi to encourage the youth to donate blood. The Chief Executive Officer of CATH, Dr. Oheneba Owusu-Danso, said the hospital has screened 93,101 potential donors in the last 5 years. Out of the figure, 83,075 pints of blood were collected.
For your selfless and altruistic gift of blood, especially many women and children who suffer avoidable deaths. Your continued donations have brought relief to many beneficiaries.
The head of the transfusion unit at CATH, Dr. Shirley Owusu-Ofori, commended students who regularly donated blood to stock the Komfo-Anokye Blood Bank. The bank also supplies other hospitals within the region, especially under emergency situations. Dr. Owusu-Ofori said voluntary blood donors contributed 80% of blood donated in 2017 at the unit.
For emergency situations, we need blood to be waiting for patients, not patients going to hospitals to wait for blood. It focuses on the fact that it's important that we give regularly so that blood is stocked for emergencies all the time.
Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister Elizabeth Ajaman observed voluntary blood donation has saved lives for those involved in motor accidents and pregnant women.
The World Blood Donor Day is a very important day because we all attest to the fact that transfusion of blood and blood products help save millions of lives each passing day or year.
In appreciation of their efforts in stocking the CATH blood bank, 8 senior high schools were presented with water dispensers. The theme for this year's celebration is Be There for Someone Else. Give blood, share life.
Still on health, James Tetefio, a hole in heart patient, needs $1,000 to undergo corrective surgery at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. A team from Media General's Corporate Social Responsibility paid a visit to his family.
James Tetefio is diagnosed with hole in heart. He's 2 years, 2 months old. Growing up has been challenging. He cannot talk, he cannot walk, and finds it difficult standing without support. He's hearing impaired. His mother, Elizabeth Ankuma, is a hairdresser, but she's unable to work due to the condition of her son.
Sometimes I have to beg for money to offset my son's medical bills.
Philip Doe is the head pastor of Living Vine Ministries, where James Tetefio's family fellowships at Asheleboche in Accra. He shared the ordeal which the family has been through, looking for funds to pay for the corrective surgery.
We saw the advert of MTN and TV3 on TV3 channel, and then we decided to follow up. We went, and then they booked appointment with us. And fortunately, within 2 weeks, TV3 and MTN has decided that they will pay the amount for Tetefio to go through the surgery.
Akosua Ajayi Suno is a corporate social responsibility manager of Media General.
We are connected to people in one way or the other. And these people can be our relatives, friends, acquaintances, co-workers. The most important thing in human life is how we impact on these people that I have mentioned.
3 Foundation, in partnership with MTN, seeks to have positive impact on society As part of their corporate social responsibility, 3 Foundation has offered to assist James Titefio undergo corrective surgery at the Cardiothoracic Center of Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
This is still Midday Live on TV3. We're back with more stories after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Midday Live on TV3. We're also live on DSTV channel 279. Experts fear the nation's food security will be threatened if research into climate change is not intensified. Speaking to TV3 Business, agri-scientist Dr. Gerald Foucault noted the recent shortage of maize can be attributed to the lack of proper research into climate patterns and its impact on food security. A market survey conducted by TV3 Business indicates that the prices of foodstuffs have shot up between 25 and 150%, leading to maize shortage. This, experts predict, will continue for the next 4 months. The phenomenon of lack of data and the low level of research into agriculture and climate changes in the country is one which has become a challenge to both foreign and local investors. Scientists with West African Science Service Center on Climate Change and Adapted Land Use, WASCAL, Dr. Gerald Foucault, says until the research gap is bridged, this can affect the country's food security.
In this respect, you need to get very good data to be able to understand how things are changing over time. And you need to also be able to research based on this data to know what's going to happen in the future based on what has happened in the past. And in this respect, I think Ghana has been lagging, and it's not only Ghana, a lot of countries in sub-Saharan Africa, because we have not invested a lot in the systems that will give us the data to understand how the climate is changing over time and how we can put in measures to ameliorate whatever effect that will come in the future.
WASCAL, in view of this, is expected to hold a stakeholders forum on the need to sensitize farmers and other industry players on good climatic practices on Tuesday. The event, dubbed the WASCAL Science Symposium, will bring together experts in the field, both locally and from international platforms.
We want to start the dialogue. We need to know what people are doing, what people are not doing, how we can proceed in improving climate and environmental services so that the ordinary man on the street with the proliferation of mobile phones will be able to get the right information to make decisions. So in a nutshell, WAS is about understanding what WASCAL has been doing, what WASCAL intends to do, and what we need to do together in the region.
Away from that, a Muslim scholar has enjoined corporate institutions and other individuals to prioritize charity services to the underprivileged in society. This, according to Sheikh Mohammed Ridwan, is important in promoting the socio-economic and emotional well-being of orphaned children. Sheikh Ridwan made the appeal when he presented Salah gifts to thousands of less privileged in society to assist them in celebrating this year's Eid al-Fitr.
In the spirit of the Eid al-Fitr celebration, the management of a Kumasi-based radio station presented food items to the less privileged in society. Orphans, widows, and the physically challenged in the Kwabre East Municipal and beyond received foodstuff and other items for their upkeep. Each beneficiary received a bag of rice, cooking oil, chicken, clothing, and an undisclosed amount of money as part of their package. CEO of Alpha Radio, Sheikh Mohammed Redwan, said they take delight in promoting the upkeep of less fortunate individuals as part of its corporate social responsibility. The gesture is a feat to be organized by the station with the support of listeners and other organizations.
Midday Live returns with sports after this break. To stay. Let's go to Kenya, where its Auditor General says high-level corruption across all levels of government in Kenya threatens the integrity and basic functioning of the state. Kenyan media have reported on dozens of graft scandals involving public officers conspiring to steal from state coffers since President Uhuru Kenyatta took office in 2013. Some officials have been tried, but none have been convicted. Describing the level of graft as shocking, Edward Oku, an accountant, said if we don't watch out, it will engulf us. His audit suggests that collusion by civil servants and other officials to steal billions of Kenyan shillings annually is coordinated at a high level. Oku, an accountant appointed in 2011, said that overhauling an archaic procurement and payment system that is easily tampered with is central to halting the looting. He expressed frustration that the recommendations he made in 2014 for reforming that system were ignored by Parliament and never implemented. Elsewhere in the United States, almost 2,000 migrant children were separated from their families at the U.S. border over 6 weeks, officials say, following a Trump administration crackdown on illegal border crossing from Mexico. Adults are being detained, meaning the children with them are removed from their care. The issue is causing a growing political storm in the U.S. On Thursday, Attorney General Jeff Sessions cited the Bible to defend the zero-tolerance approach. It means that those entering the U.S. irregularly are criminally prosecuted, a change to a long-standing policy of charging most of those crossing for the first time with a misdemeanor offense. As the adults are being charged with a crime and detained, the children that travel with them are being separated and classified as unaccompanied minors. Figures from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security show that 1,995 children were separated from 1,940 adults who are being held between 19th April and 31st May. No information was given on the age of the separated children. The children are passed into the care of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They are transferred to government detention facilities or foster care while officials try to resolve their case. The United Nations has called on the U.S. to immediately halt the separation. Now, Glasgow's world-renowned School of Art has been gutted by another huge blaze 4 years after part of the building was destroyed by fire. Flames ripped through the celebrated Macintosh building after it caught fire at around Friday night. The blaze has spread to nearby buildings, including the campus nightclub and O2 ABC music venue, which suffered extensive damage. No casualties have been reported. Time now for some entertainment stories. And playwright Kobnansa of I Want to Sue God fame has advised the youth not to give up on their dreams. His streetism-themed play Tribeless inspires young men and women to dream big and work hard in their personal pursuits.
Landlord! Ah, your mother died. Your mother died again. Not the last day your mother died. Your mother should get 9 life.
Kobna Answer's forecast musical play, Tribeless, explores the hustle of 4 ambitious ghetto friends, a trotro conductor, pickpocket, a head porter, and a hawker. Blessed with artistic talents, the friends form a music band. They enter into a competition hoping to turn their fortunes around. The motivational play encourages the youth to dream big.
The main theme that runs through the whole plot is motivation, it's inspiration. You setting out to do something, achieving something with what you have, regardless of all the setbacks. You shouldn't despair, you shouldn't be discouraged. Yeah, so the whole plot of Tribeless means we should keep on doing what we want to do, no matter what.
His streetism-themed play, Tribeless, also encourages starters to be forward-looking.
The whole message that the play wants to carry is, regardless of where we are coming from, regardless of our backgrounds, our background should not hold our back to the ground. Even ghetto people could come together to form something and enter into a competition, learn so much and achieve something for themselves. So no matter what or where we come from, we can still do something for ourselves.
Just as breakthrough stirs them in the face, conflict sets in, threatening their dream. For now, the answer to what became of the group is unknown.
Hello? Who is?
Millicent Tete played Ya Gaddafi, a tomboy, a trotro mate and a dancer.
My voice will change and the way I will walk, the way I relate. There should be that man-like thing in me. Charlie, so sorry as I would do, if you qualify. What be that? See, I really want Sean this thing, See, hear what the judge talk me. He say make her go find some football team then play. See, I swear if that woman day my body. The way I would take my brazier, do praise and worship for her face top.
Catch the fun, the betrayal, the nervy moments and the suspense at the National Theatre on June 16. The big question, however, is what happened to their hard-fought struggle.
Traveler is a whole package that would urge everyone out there to come see it. You'd not regret coming to National Theatre tomorrow, God willing, to come see Travelers.
Landlord.
On that note, we draw the curtain on Midday Live on TV3. Came to you live from our studios here at Adesawi, Accra from the News Hub. Before we go, let's recap the stories that's made headlines. 88 physically challenged persons receive startup equipment to open businesses. Also, Maslok recovers 16 million Ghana cedis in outstanding loan repayments. Exclusion of voter identity card by National Identification Authority as proof of citizenship is valid, says private legal practitioner. And Cameroon accuses Amnesty International of disseminating lies about its human rights. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Grace Hamwa Asare. Log on to 3news.com for some more stories. Enjoy the rest of our programs.